In the world of M&A, your biggest vulnerability often shows up in the very first document you sign. So today, we're not just going to look at a non-disclosure agreement, we're going to dissect its technical architecture. We're talking about the legal engineering that stands between your company's most valuable secrets and the open market. Think about it. Before any sensitive data is exchanged, before the real negotiations even kick off, the NDA sets the rules of engagement. A poorly drafted one isn't just a weak shield, it's a hidden trap that can jeopardize the entire deal or, even worse, the entire future of your company. So the big question is, how do you go from a standard, off-the-shelf NDA to a real fortress for your information? Well, it all boils down to 5 critical, absolutely non-negotiable components. Let's break them down, one by one. First up, we have to establish the perimeter. This is the foundational clause, the one that defines what confidential information even means. And let me be clear, if you get this definition wrong, if it's too ambiguous or too narrow, the rest of the document is pretty much useless. Here's the most common mistake I see, a real amateur move: defining confidential information as just the stuff in the data room. No way. A professionally drafted clause has to be so much broader. It needs to cover the very existence of the M&A discussions, who the parties are, any potential terms. The conversation is the confidential information. And this is exactly why that broad definition is so critical. A leak that your company is in play can trigger massive employee anxiety, it can alert your competitors to start circling, and it can cause all kinds of market speculation. The damage is done before a single financial document even gets shared. You see, you're protecting the context, not just the content. All right, next up, the No-Poach Zone. A really strong NDA doesn't just protect your data, it builds a fortress around your single most valuable asset, your people. This becomes absolutely essential when the potential buyer is also one of your direct competitors. Just think it through for a second. A potential buyer gets a deep, detailed look at your org chart, who your key players are, how you compensate them. This clause is specifically designed to stop that buyer from turning the M&A due diligence process into a highly targeted and, frankly, glorified recruiting opportunity. So here's the crucial point. The clause has to prevent the buyer from poaching your key talent, not just during the talks, but for a significant period after the talks end, and it doesn't matter if a deal happens or not. The market standard for this kind of protection is typically somewhere between 12 to 24 months. Okay, now for a tricky one. What happens when the buyer, inevitably, shares your confidential information with their own army of advisors? You know, their bankers, their consultants, their lawyers. This is a massive hidden risk. Your information is often at its most vulnerable when it's in the hands of third-party advisors who aren't direct signatories to the NDA. A leak from some junior investment banking analyst can be just as damaging as one from the CEO. The legal solution for this is what we call the representatives clause. This language makes the buyer directly and financially on the hook for any breach by their advisors. Basically, the buyer is guaranteeing that their entire deal team will follow the NDA's rules as if they had each signed it themselves. What this does is forge an unbroken chain of legal liability. It closes a really dangerous loophole and makes the whole agreement so much more robust. It ensures accountability, no matter whose hands the information passes through, on the buyer's side. Every single agreement needs a clear life cycle. It has to have a defined beginning, a defined end, and a clear, mandatory process for what happens when a deal just falls apart. Now, what's really interesting here is how these two concepts work together to protect you. The sunset clause sets the overall time limit for the confidentiality obligation, while the return or destroy mandate is the immediate action you have to take if negotiations end. You can think of one as the clock and the other as the kill switch. So what's standard? Well, a 2-year term is pretty much the go-to enforceable duration for the sunset clause in most mid-market M&A deals. This gives you meaningful protection without creating an unreasonable, indefinite burden on the other party. And finally, let's talk about what gives the NDA its power. An agreement is totally worthless if you can't enforce it when things go horribly wrong. This section, these are the teeth of the contract. Here's the problem. Once your secret formula, your strategic plan, or your customer list is out there in the wild, the damage is often irreparable. I mean, how do you even begin to calculate the financial cost of a lost competitive edge? A check can't put that genie back in the bottle. And this is exactly why injunctive relief is the primary enforcement tool. This isn't about getting a check after the fact. This is about getting a court order that forces the other party to stop the leak or the misuse of information immediately. It's about containing the fire, not trying to value the ashes. The distinction here is absolutely crucial for you to understand. Damages are a reactive cleanup tool. Injunctive relief is a proactive fire extinguisher. Any well-drafted NDA must explicitly grant you the right to seek this kind of relief. So let's recap. These 5 components, the perimeter, the no-poach zone, the chain of responsibility, the kill switch, and the teeth, they form the essential anatomy of a professional and truly protective M&A non-disclosure agreement. Please, never treat an NDA as just some boilerplate formality that you sign quickly to get it out of the way. It is the foundational legal instrument for the entire M&A process. Treating it as anything less is a massive strategic error with potentially severe and long-lasting consequences for your business. So I'll leave you with this final, critical takeaway. Before you ever sit down at the negotiating table, you have to know what your red lines are. Which of these 5 components will be your absolute non-negotiable? Answering that question for yourself is the very first step in truly protecting your company's future.